So thank you for the invitation. I wish I could be with you. I love Marrakech. My parents are in Marrakech. I would have loved to be with you, but I am teaching in 1 hour, and I was teaching this morning, and it is simply forbidden in our school to miss a class if you are a professor. It's completely forbidden, no matter what you have. I think you really have a strong certificate to miss a class. Okay, so I would like to entertain you for maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, as I was asked to do, about a vision for education and high-level education. As was pointed out, I am professor in Switzerland, but I have not always been professor in Switzerland. I was born and raised in Morocco. I was actually in elementary school in Khouribga, then college in Stade, and then high school in Jeddah. I studied in France, and I worked in the US. I also participated in this commission on the new development model, where we have been thinking about this topic of the vision about high-level education and research. But the opinion I'm going to give you today, to share with you, is my own opinion. Okay? So it's not the opinion of IPFR or UNXP. I'm also with the MCXP to build a computer science pool or the CSND or whatever. It's my own opinion. The first axiom I want to start with, and I'm sure, I hope you all agree, is that no nation has been developed without strong universities. You look at the history, when we talk about the golden age of Islam, usually we mean Baghdad and Egypt. When we talk about the golden age of Morocco, we mean Al-Akhawayn. When we look at the computer industry, which is the most powerful industry ever, it started in Cambridge University in England, and now it is flourishing in the Bay Area in California. Why? Because of the universities Stanford and Berkeley, as well as at MIT in Boston. So the economy is flourishing because of the university. If you look at, for example, a university like MIT, the economy generated by former students and professors of MIT is equivalent as the economy, the economy which is probably the economy of a very industrial country, probably top 20 in the world, just the university. So the axiom is that no nation develops without a university. University definitely impacts the economy of the country, but not only it transforms people, hopefully to the best, and if you go to MIT today, to Berkeley and Stanford, you will see a full young generation, open-minded, thinking about all aspects of life, not only their own discipline. If you go back to history and think about or read books about Beit al-Hikmah, at the same time, Al-Akhawayn was teaching algorithms, Abu Nawas was writing poems about specific aspects of life. Omar Khayyam, a few years later, were talking about mind. Again, there is this very important, open-minded notion of university. So the axiom is we would like to have very strong and good universities. It is important at this point to realize that what I mean by a university is not only a place where you teach. Needless to say, MIT, Berkeley, Stanford, Beit al-Hikmah, Cambridge are all research centers. And that is important because sometimes I hear here and there that we should have research centers. In my humble opinion, a research center doesn't make any sense. I weight my words, does not make any sense without a university. So people who created CNRS in France and UNRIA in France, regretted it now. They regretted that they did not create centers hardly deeply connected to the university. Okay, so the university is a place for teaching as well as a place of research. And moreover, in my humble opinion, in good universities, professors teach and teachers do research. So trying to disconnect the two is a very bad idea, in my opinion. So for example, people who talk about creating a statute which is independent of that of a teacher is, in my opinion, a nonsense. It's really looking at new disciplines which move very fast. So, the axiom, university is very important. A university is a place where we have research and education. Now you will ask me, maybe, what is maybe the secret for a good university or a good university system? Of course, I don't have a recipe. I can only talk about my experience and some parts of that report CSND. And the key word, if you can just remember one key word of my talk today, is what I would call decentralized responsibility. Well, what do I mean by that? In some places, I've been talking about like MIT, Berkeley, Stanford, but also Singapore, etc. The university is almost a completely independent entity. In the following sense, so the president of the university and its committee, they do hire the professors. There is no, it would be completely unrealistic to go to these schools, for example, in the US, and tell them, no, the professor has to be hired in Washington. This doesn't make any sense. So the hiring is clearly a decentralized notion. The promotion is a decentralized notion. When we in Lausanne decide to promote a professor, nobody knows in Bern or in Zurich or wherever that we are going to do it. It's our own responsibility. Of course, you will tell me, but this is easy if you have private schools. But we don't have private schools. Lausanne and Zurich is not private. There is a contract with the Confederation, and the contract clearly stipulates what are the achievements we need to reach. And of course, the achievements are not in the number of students who enter the university. It's the number of students who found a job after the university. So the contract is clear, and then it's up to us in Lausanne or Zurich or Berkeley or whatever to decide how we are going to meet that. Nobody in Bern going to tell us, no, we need to do a license this semester like this, a bachelor. It's completely to us. Matters is how we are going to transform these kids who enter and produce kids who find a job, who are integrated, etc. And the contract is clear. Now I hear sometimes people say, yeah, but that's easy because it's an entrance that is controlled. But that is wrong. If you look at the Swiss system or other systems in the world, the entrance is not controlled. L'entrée n'est pas contrôlée. Anybody with high school in Switzerland can get to any university. Anyone. Medicine, whatever. You can do baccalaureate in literature and go to EPFL to do mathematics. But at the end of the first semester, almost 2/3 of the students are completely out of the system. They fail, and they fail to the point that they don't have a grade that is high enough so that they can continue. This is what I call decentralized responsibility. It's the responsibility of the students and the responsibility of the institution, of the school. And that is extremely important. I know it has many drawbacks, but I don't see any other system that works besides those which have decentralized responsibility. And this has ramifications. For example, who evaluates a professor? Clearly, the first evaluator are the students. Sometimes when discussing with colleagues in Morocco, I hear them complaining, why should students evaluate us? But who else is going to evaluate you as a teacher if not the student? So it's of paramount importance that the students can evaluate the professor. And we, in a school, decide to promote a professor, the first thing we look at is the student evaluation. This is crucial. Of course, we need also to look at research. And I'm coming to that. When I say decentralized responsibility in terms of research, it also means that the topics of research of a given university are chosen in a decentralized manner. So the University of Safi in the west of Morocco, there is no reason why it should have the same research topics as the university in Tanger or in Oujda. These topics should be decided locally, of course. And the hiring of professors should be decided based on what we call tissu industriel as well as economic of the place. So this is crucial. This is decentralized responsibility. I am the dean of scientific school of ASFI. I need to decide by myself whether I will open a formation in surfing or in fish transformation or in phosphate or in chemistry. It's my responsibility. And then, of course, I'm accountable. Did I produce enough degrees that enable students to find jobs? This is at the end of the day what matters. It might sound trivial, but it needs a lot of courage to reach to this point. I was talking also about the Swiss system, and I'm telling you that a high school student can go wherever they want. Indeed, but it's important to notice that at the age of 12, a Swiss student, young student, pass an exam, and only 1/3 of the students keep going towards the baccalaureate. The other 2/3, they don't go to the baccalaureate. What are they going to do? They go to what we call formation professionnelle, and there is no shame in doing that. Again, there are very good schools who will make sure that we will have jobs given to these people. Again, it requires courage to do that, because it would basically mean, or you can be blamed by saying, oh, you don't want our students to have a baccalaureate. But what is the point of a baccalaureate or even going to university if you become diplômé? We need the courage to say things like that, and I'm happy to be far away, and I can say such things. There is something important which is also can be called decentralized responsibility. It's the evaluation of research. Of course, you cannot in ASPI or Tanger or wherever evaluate your research locally. It's very hard because research by definition is something that needs to be evaluated with your peers all over the world. So this is crucial. But still, it can be done in a decentralized fashion in the following manner. If you are working in computer science in a given discipline, your research is judged according to your peers. And what the European Commission did, it did certain things that I personally found, let me say that, quite silly, but one of them is the creation of the ERC. So this is a very, very important development of the European Commission, which is to devote some money to researchers that want to excel in a field. And in every field, there is a commission, and that commission is made of specialists of that field. Computer science, physics, chemistry, etc. So this is again decentralization. And a professor can apply to the commission and get a substantial amount of money to conduct research. So this is not something decided at the level of the university, because it would be silly to do so, because the number of specialists is very limited locally. However, this can be done at the level of a nation, but again, in a decentralized fashion. Having a commission that will talk about cryptography, quantum mechanics, chemistry, etc. is completely silly again. This has to be decentralized. And this is a good example of what the European Commission managed to do. I gave a few examples that I believe are good. Let me give you a couple that I believe are very bad. Some words that provoke some allergy in my mind. The notion of accreditation. Unfortunately, I see many colleagues in France or in Morocco who spend their entire academic year preparing the next accreditation, because they have reached 2 or 3 years of their bachelor or their engineering degree, and they need to prepare the next one. And this is completely stupid, because this is a complete waste of time. You basically need to tell Rabat that we are doing this according to your guidelines. You are talking to people who basically have no clue about the industrial tissue of your region. They have no clue what the problems you have, but you still have to spend a lot of time and send them, oh, we have 2, 3 modules, 4 modules. Why is that important? In Switzerland, in Singapore, in the US, we are not sending to anyone in the capital of our countries our plans about the next degree we want to develop. It's completely silly. Plus, it wastes a huge amount of time. The very notion of accreditation is to me a disaster. Another notion like that is the notion of habilitation. This is something, for example, in the universities I mentioned, Ecole, Polytechnique, Fédérale, Zurich, Lausanne, Singapore, the US, nobody has a habilitation. For those of you who don't know, habilitation is a new diploma that you do after the thesis to somehow convince the minister that you can conduct research. But if you cannot conduct research, you should not be promoted. You should even be kicked out of your university. And that's a local decision. Why on earth should we have a commission that would, at the level of the university, spend a huge amount of time telling you how many projects did you get, how many this, how many that, sending them to a ministry which decides what you should do. This is a complete disaster. This is another world that is a counterexample. And I started with history, and I will now complete with history, finish with history. When I was young, I studied, and probably you did as well, I studied in high school that the Roman Empire, very, very powerful Roman Empire, was destroyed because of the Huns, because of Attila. So Attila came, the barbarians, and destroyed the Roman Empire. Some historians have recently published interesting findings showing that that is not the case. What destroyed the Roman Empire is bureaucracy. The Roman Empire in its beginning was completely decentralized. At some point it was so big that people wanted a central control. So Rome decided to master all places all over the world, collect taxes, etc. And that was the reason why the Roman Empire failed. So without decentralized autonomy or responsibility, no system will survive, especially high-level education and research. Thank you for your attention. Have a nice day in Marrakech.